So ammonia jars and subliminals have literally paved the way for me to manifest so quickly, y'all. Well, those are two of the things. Now, with this job, let me tell you, those who have been on my YouTube channel, Cadaver Alchemy, know that I got laid off technically in August, but really it was June because that's when they announced it. So, I got laid off, right, last year back in June. When I tell you I put in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications, and of course I had to in order to keep my my unemployment benefits. No callback. I have never experienced that, y'all. No callback. And then when I did get a callback for an interview, either I didn't like them, I didn't vibe with them, or they just didn't choose me. I had never had that happen to me in all of my 45 years of life, okay? And I've been working since I was 14. So I knew that part of this period of unemployment was more spiritual than I thought, especially because I literally heard Spirit tell me, like, you're not going to get a job. And I made a video about that too a long time ago. You're not going to get a job. My unemployment period was really my time to recoup. I slept so much. It was for resting. It was for recovery. It was from healing from years and years and years of like just compact trauma that I had to work through or release or heal or whatever. But I took that 8 or 9 months to really work on myself spiritually, to really figure out, like, okay, what is my renewed purpose? Like, to really dive deep within me and do a lot of self-awareness. So, I'm saying all these things because these are the steps that really helped me to become a very powerful manifester. I am at the point now where I truly, really have to be mindful of my thoughts. And I know people say that all the time, but when you start to get into a timeline of where you just thought about it and now someone's either saying it or doing it for you or bringing it to you, or it just, boom, manifested. Like, when you get to that point, I really have to be mindful of my mouth. I really have to be mindful of what I say, what I think. And even though it's a very magical experience, it's also comes with responsibility too. It's not just, a genie in a bottle. It's you being responsible for, your intentions and your actions and your thoughts and all this. So, anywho, I have been using ammonia jars for a very, 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 very long time because they work. They're so effective. It's really like you can just forget about it. Like, once you do the jar, literally just forget about it. Of course, you got to take time to add energy to it, but okay. So ammonia jars, a jar, some ammonia, write down what you desire on the paper backwards though. So if you're looking for a job, don't write on there, I want a job. No, you write on there, I am unemployed. I do not have a job. My rent is not paid. I don't have a vehicle. I don't have my airplane tickets. Like, whatever it is you want to manifest, you write it currently how you are. Okay? Because ammonia is so freaking powerful. Ammonia is used in so many ways when it comes to magic. It's used as a cleanser. In this particular instance, we're using it to help manifest, okay? I could also see it being seen as, with ammonia jars, cleansing or removing barriers or obstacles in order for you to get what you want while using the ammonia jar. I could definitely see that. So this is what I do. And I use any type of jar that has a metal lid to it. It could be an old spaghetti jar. It could be, any type of jar, a canning jar, any type of jar that has a metal lid to it. And I take the jar, and I write out my petition. And baby, my petitions be short, okay? We ain't got time for no paragraphs, okay? Because we trying to hurry up and manifest this thing. So you got to be very clear. That's why I said, My last ammonia jar I did was for my car. And I simply wrote, I don't have the car I desire. That's what I wrote. I do not have the car that I desire. And I taped it, okay? I folded it up. I taped it on the back of the lid. I don't even pour a lot of ammonia, y'all. I pour enough ammonia to cover the lid when it's upside down. And I can't turn this upside down because it's liquid in here. So I pour the ammonia in there, maybe to right here. I put the top on there real nice and tight. And sometimes, baby, I will tape that thing with some clear tape because I'm not trying to have no accidents. So, and then I'll flip it up. I put a tea light candle on top. And I may chant. Ooh, it's my stop. I may chant. So I turn it upside down. I put a tea light on there. For a little pizzazz, you could actually sprinkle some herbs on that tea light candle if you want to. I like to have my candle wax melt down on my bottle. So if you're using a little tea light, you know how it has a little metal cap? I take my tea light out of that metal cap and I put it right on top of the bottom, of my ammonia jars. When that candle light is done, I put it in a dark place. A cabinet that you never use is dark. I put it in a dark place. And I move on to something else. And then I'll come back and add more energy to it. Adding more energy means you're either focusing on what you want to manifest, maybe by using that ammonia jar as a focal point. You adding like the spirit of fire, so adding another tea light to that thing, like maybe 3 or 4 or 5 days later. When you start to see movement happening with what you desire, I go back and start adding more energy more frequently. So let me tell you what I did for the car. First off, I had to work through my fears of getting a car again, because 3 years ago I was in a really, really bad car accident. I was hit and it traumatized me so bad that I did not want a car. Matter of fact, after the lawsuit and I got my money, I didn't go get a car. I didn't want a car. I had a major fear of not me driving, but getting hit again. Baby, I'm in Texas, okay? I have been through so many car accidents. None, not even one of my own fault. And it took years to work through that, to the point where I didn't have a problem with doing Uber. I didn't have a problem with paying Uber to go anywhere. So anyway, I had to work through that fear, release that fear. And it got to the point where this year I was just like, yeah, I got to get a car. I can't, my life is changing now, so I have to get a car. So, and part of manifesting is working through the spiritual and the physical. Manifesting, you manifest by creating, and you create by utilizing feminine and masculine energy. So anytime you're manifesting something, you have to look at what can I do spiritually and what can I do physically to bring this thing into this reality. That's how it works. So the ammonia jar is going to be the physical part of you working with the material world, the 3D world, to manifest what you desire. And the spiritual part is you using your thoughts, your emotions, okay? You using your feminine and masculine energy to push that thing through. Meditation, you are listening to Subliminals. I'm telling y'all, I listen to this YouTube channel called High Frequency Guru. That channel, okay, that's another video. Let me stay focused. All right, so after I worked through my fears, then I started to figure out, okay, what kind of car do I want? I had 3 models or three makes in mind of the car that I wanted, vehicle that I wanted. And I didn't let go of that. I didn't change my mind. I didn't let people persuade me. Y'all, I asked Spirit to bring me somebody that knows about cars. It would be my dad, but I don't live in the same state as my dad. Why did I meet a mechanic who also happened to be a maintenance man? Knows everything about cars, works on cars as a side hustle when he not, you know, working his job, whatever. Went with me one Saturday. We went looking for cars. Had a ball. Seeing some cars I like, but it really didn't do anything for me. So I'm like, I think I'm just starting the process. This is not my car. This is not my car. And this is not my car. I go back to quote unquote the chalkboard. Like, okay, this is part of manifesting, y'all, because things don't always happen right away. Sometimes you have to be a scientist, a real magician, a real scientist, and figure out how to make your experiment bring the results that you're looking for. How am I going to tweak how I manifest to bring the results I'm looking for? I'm telling you all, to me, when it comes to manifesting, there is no. There's only, I gotta figure out a way to get it done, or Spirit's gonna show me a different way to get it done. So I said, okay, well, it didn't work when I had somebody with me. Let me go when I'm by myself, because this person had said a couple of things while we were out shopping for a car that I was like, oh, I don't like that energy. Because what he said was, you know, when you get your car, don't forget about me. Or when you get your car, you know, basically I'm not going to be in around. And I'm like, baby, I don't need that kind of energy while I'm trying to manifest something. Like, that's almost like working against my intent on purchasing the car, because you have a fear that we will not be in connection or contact once I get this car. Like, your insecurity is showing, honey. So I went by myself, and when I went by myself, y'all, I had a ball. The salesperson, we laughed, we joked, we talked. Maybe that's part of him being a salesman, I don't know. But out of all my car buying years, I've never had an experience like this before when it comes to sales, selling me a car. Anywho, I had the money, and y'all, how I got this money for the down payment, my goodness, everything just came together. Okay, everything just came together. I had no concern about my credit, because my credit was fine. It was literally me just having to make a decision on which car I wanted. That's literally what the obstacle became. So I went back on the app, on the car dealership's app, and I said, okay, I'm gonna pick out what I want. I'm gonna be for real this time. I'm gonna pick out, y'all, the car that I reserved on their app to come and test drive and take a look at was the car that I ended up buying and bringing home. And my petition was, I don't have the car that I desired. I literally went to the app, picked out the car that I desired, went in the next day and bought a car. Most other times that I've had to purchase a car have been because I just had to get this car because that's all my credit would allow, or that's all the financing I was given. No. This time, I bought the car that I desired. So, y'all, I think I may be missing some other things, but if I am, just let me know what else you want me to talk about. I'll do another video about how I use subliminals and ammonia jars to get a job next. But your girl is at her destination. She gotta go. I love y'all so much. Thanks for tapping in with me. Until next time, y'all take care. Bye.